Alrighty, hey there everyone. We're back yet again with some more Minecraft finally. We are gonna be working on two farms today, slime farm and bamboo farm, because we need stuff. And once we can get a hold of those, we will probably build ourselves a shulker farm, because we need one of those as well. Currently here on day 421 of our shieldless and totemless hardcore world. Last time we went to the shulker farm and got ourselves 40 extra shulker shells, so some nice little bits and pieces that we've gotten a hold of. Can't put them to use quite yet, but we will soon enough, I would say. Let's go ahead and take a minute here to clean up our good old inventory here, maybe tuck away our extra shells, and put all that away. There we go. And what we're looking to do today, first and foremost, is we're going to build ourselves a slime farm. Or rather, we're going to build ourselves the extended portion of our slime farm that's based off of our XP farm. So I may pop over to Creative to show it here in a minute, but it's going to be kind of tricky given the spacing issues that we have. This connects to the circle that we've already dug out. Now, I could technically keep this here for at least a very long time, if not forever, as long as I redirect the water stream that's here. I think that's what I really need to go for here. So we're going to go ahead and kind of shift things around here a little bit. Just a smidge. Additionally, we will 100% need to invest in proper stuff here. So we're not out of the woods yet. Whoops. I also forgot I could insta-mine. Not used to it at this far in, but that's alright. We'll need to go pick up some glass from our base and some more deep slate. But this should get us over into our corner, which is great. You can see that we got our lever, which we'll go ahead and take back with us. And we will need to fill in the sides, I'm sure, at some point, but I'm not going to worry about that for the moment. No, sir, I am not. I'll take some extra torches, take that one with us, and let's see here. We're going to get that flowing over. We're going to go ahead and hollow all of this out for right now. Put our glass down, which we have, I believe, inset too far. There we go, do something like that. And we are going to have to make some pit stops in our base to get some of this handled. Down below here is the easy access point for our oozing potions, so that's what that is. And the long and short of it, what we're basically going to need to do is we're going to need a soul campfire to drop them onto, but we're basically going to go get some glass and some deep slate here first and foremost, so let's go ahead and grab those, and then I will probably pop over into the creative world to physically show the idea that I got in mind here, because there is definitely some bits and pieces. You think I'd learn how to speak after all this time, but apparently not. There's still some bits and pieces that I need to tweak and fine-tune here a little bit, but the long and short of it is that we will accumulate a crap ton of silverfish. We will drop them onto a single soul campfire, and within said soul campfire, we will be able to kill oozing silverfish. And when they die, then they will explode basically outwards into what is the word I'm looking for, into 2 medium slimes. When they explode outwards into those medium slimes as well, the medium slimes will fall down about a 7 or 8 block deep pit, so they die of fall damage, so that only leaves the baby slimes on the bottom there, and then from there, they are aggroed by an iron golem into a centralized killing chamber where I can then kill them with looting 3, sweeping edge, and sharpness. So then they die, and we get looting on it. So I did a quick test of it in my creative testing world, and I was able to pull a little less than 2 double chests of slime balls off of a single oozing potion. So what we're dealing with here is massive. Like, we should be covered for a very, very long time, which would be very cool. So we'll set that up in place. We've got a wood box for our miscellaneous woods. Cobbled deep slate was another one that we needed to get a hold of. And a soul campfire. Yes, that's what was the other thing I needed. Which, luckily, soul campfires are also very easy to put together. It's just a matter of getting the soul materials that we need, which we should be able to dip into here and make. So, just out of curiosity, if I search for a campfire, it is 1 soul sand, 3 logs, 3 sticks, which we do have. So we can go ahead and assemble that nice and quickly. Turn that back on. There we go. There we go. And make ourselves a soul campfire. Additionally, too, we can go ahead and make some extra trapdoors here for some of the other stuff we got. We're going to need those for like the tube to the chamber there. We're actually going to make a good couple more. And there we go. That should give us more than plenty. Perfect. And we're also going to tuck that away. And we're also going to go ahead and update this so that way we use gates instead of trapdoors. With the specific for that being that gates, if I'm not mistaken, would physically stop them a little bit better. Or rather, because they have a solid hitbox, or a completely transparent hitbox when they're open. They wouldn't cause any issues unlike trapdoors. So, popping on over here real quick, this is the idea. Where basically, you have a toggle here that would drop them once they are stored here in the water. You would splash them with an oozing potion. Once they are oozed, it would be dropped by the lever down onto a soul campfire, die from fire damage, explode out, die here, and be born as baby slimes who get lured to the iron golem, falling down here, where we can then safely kill them with sweeping edge. So all in all, very solid little farm. Can't really go too wrong with it. The most I would probably do is like flip the slabs so that way they look a little different here on this front. Yeah, it's on me. We'll leave that like that for now, but just know that I'm going to have like an iron door here for getting in and out a little bit easier. I'll probably keep a button on the side too, just so that way I have like a way in and out. But otherwise, it's not really too necessary. But yeah, they will fall directly out, die from fall damage, and then the wall should catch them. And if I were to get like a trapdoor here, this is also why I felt like I needed the trapdoors in the hardcore world. But basically, we can go ahead and replace this class with trapdoors instead to only give them a 1-block tube to fall into. That also has like a thin enough outside that shouldn't cause any issues with them trying to escape or not being able to explode outwards properly. Because when they're clipped inside of blocks, things tend to get a little weird, but we're banking on the fact that basically when they spawn after the silverfish dies, they will clip into the block, and then their sheer girth will push each other out into all of this. So yeah, this is literally all it turns into. It's just a 7-block by 7-block pit centered on the drop chute that we already have, and then from the campfire, it would be like 8 blocks or so. I think. So we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Floor is at 11. So if we hit F3, you can see our floor, our targeted block is 47. And our targeted block for our campfire is 57. So a 10 block fall, very nice and simple. They fall down into here, Golem will see them, and then they fall and they can be harvested. So this should be a very simple modification to make. I mean, this is so easy that you don't even really need like a YouTube tutorial for this. Like literally, if you just watch along, you should be able to see exactly how this is done. And if you're interested, try it for yourself. Because it is a very cool, simple little modification to make to solve any slime needs. And it may or may not, and I'm not sure yet, it may double the XP that is produced by it as well, right? Actually, no, maybe it would be more than double. I'm actually not 100% sure on that. But what I can tell you for sure is that instead of killing one silverfish for its XP, you're effectively killing 6 baby slimes, because each medium slime drops 3 baby slimes for their XP. Which, you know, basic math and logic dictates that that should snowball out of control really fast, which is really good. It's redstone free beyond just having a lever and some fences. So some super duper simple stuff here that we're going to be dealing with. So that'll be very fun. And let's also go ahead and make a couple more gates. I did not check if the gates were viable. I should have probably checked that first. So let's pop back on over again and double check that. I'm going to assume that they are, though. I don't think I've historically had any problems with them as gates, but just to be safe, we're going to go ahead and run a double check here, so we'll wait for these guys to suffocate. And when they're closed like this, then that means that this is usable as an XP farm while we wait. Which is what this implies. So, yeah. Now we go ahead and splash them. They produce silverfish. Note that these silverfish cannot physically get out of here. They're actively stuck on the corners, floating upwards because of the water, and even then their hitboxes are physically too big to be allowed out. But then as soon as I flip the lever, it'll go ahead and let them down. They flow down into this water pit here. And after 3 minutes, eventually all of these silverfish would spawn out of these guys. And then with all of these guys in place, you would then go ahead and splash them with oozing. Click that. They're down the campfire. And it's just a shower of slime, basically. Now, the cool thing, too, is they naturally funnel themselves out because not too many can fall in one place at one time because of how the water works with their hitboxes. So that actually, we've already solved the hard problem of like being able to do that, which is really cool. The very last slime, though, will have died in here, unfortunately, which is a little bit of a shame, but you lose like 8 slime balls, but you get 2 double chests of them otherwise, so it's pretty good. Some of them will die here as like baby slime, so you'll have very minor lossage, but otherwise it's just a landing pad, some trapdoors, and then boom, they're good. And then literally all you would do... Okay, a couple of things. I seem to have forgotten to seal that off, but that's neither here nor there. So, yeah, we will have to remember to not forget that when we build this for real, but it's good to know that the gates will be plenty adequate for what we're looking to do. So, that said, soul campfire, hoppers, chest, some deep slate, and, you know, some extra deep slate. For the sake of having more deep slate. Because we need more deep slate. It's also good just to have as extra building materials. That should cover us there. And then it's really just digging out like that hole. And glass. That was my other one that I need to get a hold of here. So, let's go ahead and pop on over. And maybe get the right box. Went to the wrong side. I was at the right side. I popped on over to the wrong side, but we're here in the end, so it hardly matters. Alright, let's get some glass, which luckily we have been hoarding a bunch of. There we go. nice and simple. We'll go ahead and go on up to our bed here real quick. Our iron farm is up and working again, now that they've had a chance to sleep, so that's all fine and dandy. And we will go ahead and sleep to get that going. And otherwise, we'll go ahead and just pop on down the annual way to go check up on some of our farm outputs to see how we're doing. Certainly sounds like we're getting some iron here. It's always good. Got a couple of bone blocks on both sides, which always helps. Over a stack of iron blocks on each end, which is great. And let's go ahead and pop on down here. We'll go ahead and check the output of our most productive ones. See, we're getting quite an abundance of witch drops here, some solid gunpowder. And again, we'll do another double check over here while we're at it. See, we do get a tiny bit of lossage, but it's negligible enough that I don't feel particularly bent out of shape about it. They should be able to keep with it pretty well. Good. So it looks like 3 golems can handle all of the output, which is very nice. They are keeping up with it quite nicely here. Still doing great on gunpowder, and not to mention everything else, frankly. I mean, look at those witch drops. That is huge, you know. That's 3 stacks of redstone dust on this one alone. That's quite good. So, with that being said, now that we've double checked everything, we've grabbed our extra material, we should have everything that we need. We will go ahead and grab ourselves an extra little water bucket here to make sure we're resupplied there, make sure our chest plate is back on, and we will head on out and see what we can do. It looks like my stream is having some poor connection right now, so I will see if that wants to fix itself or not. It looks like it has, just by merely looking at it and threatening it, it has gotten its ass into shape, which does seem about right for anything tech related, so yeah. If you talk about it and you look at it funny, it understands, so general rule of thumb. Anywho, let's go ahead and load up on our sugarcane while we're at it too. Of course, we still do need these for our handy dandy fireworks, so it's always good to load on up whenever we can. And with that, we are going to make our additional modifications. So, a couple of things. We're going to move that at some point. This ladder won't be acceptable anymore. We're going to go ahead and seal this off, like so. There we go. And, you know, we'll go ahead and switch out the floor to maintain consistency here. Now, again, from the campfire, it's going to be a couple of blocks, so how on earth do we want to do this? Well, let's keep it simple first things first. Let's go ahead and seal that off. Maybe we could actually move the ladder to be in a little bit more of a specialized spot. Like here, perfect, that was a great guess. I mean, I knew that was there, obviously. We'll move our ladder over here right quick. Means we can go ahead and kind of seal this off for right now. Additionally, we can go ahead and match up our lighting, break back into here, and that solves that conundrum. There we go. Do something nice and simple like that. And then ladder-wise, there we go. Quick and simple trip back up will get us up to the very tippy top of what we're looking for up here. There we go. That'll take care of that. And then additionally, perfect. So we have undershot it a little bit, but we still are able to point in the correct direction from here, which is fine. That still gives us the access we're looking for. And to ensure that we don't have any breach issues, we're going to go ahead and ensure that this whole thing is coated in a nice solid layer of deep slate tiles, just to ensure we don't have any problems down the line, because Lord knows we definitely can and will. So let's go ahead and coat this off, like so. Here we are out at the moment, which is fine because we bought plenty of extra, so we should be all good. And you know, we'll go ahead and make like a little bit more stuff. We'll go ahead and make some extra ladders here, just to keep things simple. There we go. That'll get us up and down nice and smooth. And we only really need glass from like one angle, frankly, so like that's what we're gonna do. There we go. Alright, and for something like this, I don't mind using the reclaimed stone that we have. Because now that we have a solid bit of deep slate tiles, we shouldn't have anything to really worry about here. So that ought to be good. And we'll go ahead and seal that off. And now we can go ahead and switch back to our deep slate, and there we go. So that creates a nice effective seal for everything we're looking to do here. And additionally, this means that we can start to dig into here a little bit. And if we are going to assume that we're going to want 12 trapdoors here, we're also going to get our soul campfire ready. Okay, oh, the silverfish can't escape from this spot, so I guess it's fine, but... Ooh, yeah, and that's also another thing in and of itself, too. Is considering how the actual hell we detonate the... this part, frankly. I mean, this should have just been a button if I'm not mistaken, so it literally is just a button up there to trigger it, like a button on the wall or something like that. We will come back to that later, but yeah, that's where we would have to map it to, and then go ahead and lay in our trapdoors. wrong way there on that last one, but that's alright. These things happen. Much better. Now, we could also just make like a larger chute too. I think that might actually help us out a little bit more. Which is why we have brought extra campfires. Extra campfires? What the fuck am I talking about? Extra wood and trapdoors. Am I doing alright today? I don't know, but we'll find out. Alright, let's get some of those. Those are pressure plates. Do not cook those. And we'll make 2 buttons. There we go. We'll tuck the buttons away in there for right now. And with these 12, this should actually get us the perfect amount to comfortably break on down here without having any worry. Just to make sure that we can effectively get on down here. Okay, we may have gone a little too far down. You've seen that one coming. There we go. We'll do that. All about steady progress with something like this. We don't need to be perfect the first time. We just need to get something in place and we can work it out a little later. But there we go. We have gone ahead and gotten that set up. We can go ahead and place in our soul campfire like so. And based off of this is how we're going to measure this out. So if this is 3, then I should just need to dig 2 on each side to make it 7. So we got a little bit of dirt here too. Additionally, I could probably go get some glowstone for them to land on too to provide like solid blocking and lighting, so. Right. Let's see here. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have gone a step too far. Seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. All right. Take that with us. Why not? We are out of inventory space, so that's why not. There we go. Do a nice little something like that. And then take note, our campfire is at 109 targeted block coordinates on our left-hand side, and we are looking to go down to 99 at that rate, which we can do nice and easily, so we will get started on that here in a moment. But first things first, let's see if we can do some connecting work here real quick. Which, by the looks of it, we definitely can. Granted, it will be in a bit more of a different spot, but we can definitely have some simple connecting here. Alright, let's just start with this. We'll do something nice and simple like that. And then we are going to go ahead and mine downwards by 10 blocks. Should be able to get in range of the beacon here momentarily. There we go. That should help make things a lot faster. Alright, and there we go. That's a good chunk of it already. We'll go ahead and carve into here as well. There we go. And we will go ahead and tuck away some of our excess here. There we go, nice and simple. We'll push that ladder back in a little bit more somewhere, so don't worry about that for now. And again, we're looking at 109 there with our campfire, 105 there with our torch. There we go. And, we'll go ahead and seal all of this off. Smooth it all out with regular stone. There we go. Do a little something like that. And otherwise, we'll tuck away everything else that we can. All right. So, this will be the block. 109 versus 99. This will be where they need to fall down to. There we go. And we do a little something like this. And from here, oh, trapdoors. We should have made a couple more, but that's alright. We're gonna need to get up and out of here pretty soon. Oh, fine. We'll take a second here to actually do some extra work. and make a way up and out. Just so that way we have it, because we kind of do need it right now. Let's go ahead and get that going. There we go. Get our ladders there. And, trying to think where I want to tuck this away at. Also should, like, go check on where we're physically going to put the golem. Forgot about that. Anyways, we're gonna do / difficulty peaceful. There we go. Alright. We'll do that. Anyways. Okay, so from here it's a flat 3-block deep bit with a glass block there, slabs there, and then the golem is inset into the floor a little bit. Just so that way we've got that. I had taken a screenshot and then I just exited out of it. Thank you, Microsoft. Very cool. Anyways, we got our screenshot there, so we should know how we want to orient this by comparison. So we're going to go ahead and pop on back into Fingers here and keep chipping away at this. So, first things first, we want a 2-block tall wall. Also, our wall's inset is a little different, but we're not going to worry about that. Glass. We're going to get a little bit more glass here. That's where we need to be. And then embedded in this wall here is where it'll be, where our golem will be. So we'll dig it out like this. And then the center 3 blocks are where our golem would sit, right in there. Then we would have glass lining it like so. And we also need to take a second to get some more torches out of our torch box here real quick. There we go. And you know, we're just gonna go ahead and set some torches up on the wall there. Slab wise, I guess we can use deep slate tiles for right now. Gonna need a little bit more. There we go. So we slab it off like that. And then we just install our trapdoors, which we'll use pale oak, why not? So we'll go ahead and get that going. And get that going. There we go. We do a little something like that. Sounds like we got a zombie nearby, but that's hardly my concern for right now. In fact, actually, it sounds like we're near a cave down here, so we'll have to scout for that a little later. In fact, why don't we do that now? Well, we're definitely going the right direction. It's definitely below. We're making a loop around it. Sounds like it actually was up higher. Yeah. Oh, 100%. You found it. Looks like we had a little pocket here. Well, we'll go ahead and light this up real quick. It still ties into all the other work we're doing, so it's important to have all these caves lit up, but luckily that was a little itty-bitty one, so just a matter of finding it. That can always be a little tough, but we got that taken care of. So let's go ahead and find the hole. Yep, this is it. There we go. And we'll just leave that like that. That shouldn't cause too many issues. There we go. Alright. Although I am going to thicken this out just to be safe. Alright, so we got that taken care of. We would put our golem in there. And then we need our chests and our hoppers, and our levers and our fence gates. Okay. And then we want to go ahead and make sure that we can adequately do this. So it's a deep enough drop for them to not cause any issues, which I think down to here should be fine. Yep. And then we're looking for our center 3 blocks as our center 1. Okay, so this would go in there like that. And we do a little something like that. And then somewhere outside of here, would be the actual room. There we go. And we do a little something like that. And then we would have our lever and door set up there. We have mined a little bit too high. You need to bear in mind that the golem goes right there. And then this gets us a nice little room to work with. And I think we'll have it inverted like this. There we go. Alright. So, it should get this set up. We'll go ahead and put our lever down here as well. And one of our buttons too. I'm mainly doing this, by the way, because I want like an iron door here because I think it looks prettier, so. Okay, let's maybe not have the button there. Why don't we have it here instead? Yep, that works. So we get our button there. And then how are we doing? We do have iron, good. Because we are going to need a little bit of spare iron here to make our iron door. That has been oriented the wrong way. There we go. I want it like that. And we'll leave it open while we're doing our maintenance work here, like so. And that would cover it. Okay. We'll go ahead and inset this just a little bit more. Alright, and from here we need to dig a better ladder. So, a couple of things. We know we want our ladder to go straight through. And, we'll go ahead and line up this. You can also see how much further we're going to have to go to get into a good spot here. And, we'll just do a little something like that. There we go. We're going to also clean up all of the edges here, so we're going to take away all this ore. There we go. And yeah, we'll just do a little something like that. Alright. Nice and straightforward. And while we're down here, we can go ahead and make some more ladders. This shouldn't be too bad. And we're going to go ahead and bundle up some of this excess, that way we can keep everything clean a little bit better, like so. Let's see. Okay, this puts us into the roof. So we should only have a couple more that we need to mine up here. Which would lead us directly here. Okay. And we didn't bring some stuff with us, so that's no good. Oh, wait, nope, we did. There we go, we'll put that there. Okay. Okay, let's maybe not tear through it that hard. Alright. Now what we're going to do from here is we're going to go ahead and layer this wall with deep slate tiles. There we go, do a little something like that. And then straight through here is exactly where we want to be. Alright, there we go. And just to get rid of this wooden door, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, right, yeah, can't do that yet. What the hell, we'll go grab all this, why not? Alright. It was honest the whole time, wasn't it? Hey, yep, it was. Alright, polish deep slate into deep slate bricks into deep slate tiles. There we go. And yeah, I mean, we could physically see a lot of stuff from here, which is pretty good. And just for the sake of having more viewing bays, why not? We'll have another entry point there. There we go, do a little something like that. Alright, and we need our box of cobbled deep slate back, like so. Okie doke. Okay. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and seal all of that off, like so. And we'll do the corners too, just to be extra safe. There we go. But we can physically see them from in here, which is good. And then we have our splash potion there. And then we also need some kind of line of sight to the fence gate, which could prove to be a bit more of a problem here. Okay. Right, there we go. Okay, doing something like this. Give us another nice window here to look at, so that's good. Alright. And fuck it, we'll just go ahead and skimp on the corners a little bit here. Shouldn't really be any breaches here that we need to worry about. That'll get us plenty of lighting for something like this. And additionally, no. Almost wish I could have a piece of glass here that lets me physically see what's going on there too. And then I had a lever, I don't know, like here or something, that I would flick to activate that once I have set off everything that needs to be set off. Yeah, I think we'll go for that. Alright, we could do that. So let's go ahead and get our shulker out yet again. Go ahead and pack away some of our extra stuff, and we don't actually have the redstone componentry for this at the moment, so we will have to dip into our base to go grab it. Also don't have like any cobblestone, so that's kind of another thing. Oh wait, no, we do. So let's go ahead and make the lever. We need more deep slate tiles. Go ahead and take these ones out of the wall here. And we'll make sure to use some lighting while we're working on this. Alright, let's go ahead and get some stone back again. Just for a quick minute here so we can patch all of this up. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Not perfect. In fact, that's quite bad. Well, I suppose it doesn't really matter for one specific side, since that's just not how it's going to work up here. Okay, it would have that there, and then it would just curl around, and then that would be it on paper. Alright. So we just need to go grab some redstone dust and loop it on through. And there we go. We'll do a little something like that. That shouldn't interfere with anything. And yeah, we just need to go grab some dust. Which we can definitely go grab pretty easily here. Looking good out here as well. There we go. Alright. Let's go ahead and get half a stack of dust, I'd say would be good. That's all we really need. And we'll grab a repeater too, just in case. Okay, and we're also gonna grab a pumpkin, some shears, which I should have in a chest very nearby. Ah, here we go. And some iron blocks. That way we can go ahead and get this guy all taken care of too. We can put the iron golem in place. That shouldn't take too long. And I know my inventory is a complete and utter mess right now, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. Oops, too far down. Hold up now. There we go. Alright. That leads out towards the sheep farm, so we need to go out the other way instead. Which we'll work our way towards real quick. We'll break into the wall here for maintenance. And we'll route that through. That works nice and well. Good. And we can cover up our circuitry. And additionally, why don't we go ahead and make a button, put it there. Just out of curiosity. Nah, I guess we couldn't particularly. Just because of how this has to be laid out. Yeah, it's for the best. We'll get rid of that, tuck it away. Alright, so when we've got ahead and oozed them, we would pop down here, whatever our bulk oozing is, we would put it in our dispenser, hit the button to ooze them, and then just pop on up, flick the lever, and then the slime portion will do its thing. The lever would be open, they would fall down onto the soul campfire down below. They would go ahead and die in the soul campfire, explode outwards, and then that would physically get them to fall and die on the stone platform below. It will then be aggroed by the iron golem that we are about to go ahead and set up here momentarily. And off of that iron golem, they would be lured into their pit and die. Get that? Okay, big guy, hang on. Shit. Here we go. That should keep him well intact. And we'll use some of our extra iron that we have to heal him. Here we go. He's fully healed, nice and simple. And then otherwise, it's really just like bare bones touch-up work here that we have to really do. This should be really easy. Oh, and getting some stairs and stuff kind of set up in here. We'll move the lever onto the wall. Alright, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So, as far as I can tell, I think we're done. We need to do one last little thing, and then we'll actually be done. But it's super easy to wrap up, so I'm not too worried about it. So we'll go ahead and just settle stuff like that there. And I mean, I guess we could do some decorating here for a little bit. Just do some basic crowning there. And we'll set that down like so. And, you know, we'll do some more crowning on the other sides. Here we go. That'll get us into here where we can then not swipe at them because we didn't think about that. It has to be slabs, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and maybe do something about that real quick. Tuck that in there. Get some stone slabs. There we go. Okay. And it has to be like this, otherwise we physically won't see them when they're up bobbing on the water, so not much of a choice there, but I think it's for the best. Then yeah, I mean, we are eye level with them, so I'm not too worried about that. And I mean, if we really want to, we could install like extra trapdoors to kind of help things out a little bit, but I don't feel that's particularly necessary, so I'm not going to worry about that too much at the moment. But let's just go ahead and tuck some stuff away. There we go. To actually tuck our crafting table right next to this, that way it kind of lines in a little bit better, and then this feels like it has more purpose. Then we've got our maintenance way to pick up the extra slime, because this thing literally produces 2 double chests of slime for 1 use. So, like, it fills up fast, and it fills up hard. So we really want to make sure that we can manually pick that up as needed. Fingers crossed. I don't actually know how far away iron golems can lure slimes from. So let's check that. Let's check this detection radius. It's about 15 blocks, apparently. We're gonna go with 15 blocks. That's what I saw on a Reddit post, just taking a quick glance. I don't know that for sure, but we will find out when we inevitably run the farm here today to build up some slime. Now, why would we want to build a slime farm first? It could be because we want some slime. Because we need it for the bamboo farm, unfortunately, so We need a decent little chunk of slime to actually jumpstart the bamboo farm and make our flying machines as needed. Oh, I put it up here, that's why. It feels kind of wrong. I feel like I should have the lever down here because then I can see it all in one go that, you know, they're here and they're ready after they've been slimed, and then I can just come down here, slime them by pushing the button, and then physically run over, and then boom, I got it. So we're gonna make those adjustments here too. If we can get the right freaking shulker box with my pale oak wood, because I want pale oak buttons for this because it'll be nicer contrast. Because dark oak blends in a little bit too well. Alright, there we go. Okay. And then lever-wise, we're going to take that out. And we're going to go ahead and just slap that lever there. That won't cause any issues. Good. Yep. Go ahead and slip that on up there. And get crunched on inventory space yet again. Alright, there we go. Now we have some proper door control. So we could splash them from down here. And then once they're splashed with a potion, just physically run over here and then go open the gate. And then once the gate's open, then we really could just like hop through here. I guess we will leave it there. So once the gate's open, then all we would literally have to do is just go straight down. There we go, do that. You would just go take the ladder down. You should be able to see them explode as you kind of go down. And then you get down to here, and then you should be in position to just start whacking them. Very nice and simple. Nothing too complex. It's just a lot of stuff, and it's relatively new, so I'm making all this up as I go along. But that's what you do, right? So anyways, let's go ahead and do one final switch. To also ensure that our gate is locked. And let's also go ahead and get these all switched out here. It should be a simple little pop-in. There we go, do a little something like that. And that's all we really have to do. And that was it. So that should be absolutely everything done here that I'm looking to do. That'll go ahead and keep that sealed off. And on paper, if we run this, we should be good. We are going to do some more brewing though, so let's take a breather here to go clean out our shulker boxes and maybe do some extra bits and pieces around our area. Notably, we got more sugarcane that's ready for harvesting again. We're going to go ahead and pick all that up. There we go, got a little extra sugar cane. And we'll go ahead and pop up into our storage here for a while and go do some sorting. So it's already been over an hour here, by the way. It's currently 4:45 p.m. here on November 30th, 2025 here in Florida. And I still get tomorrow off, so my big weekend, my 5-day weekend, is coming up to an end. I get Monday off tomorrow, and I'm back to work on Tuesday, so that'll be fun. Anywho, let's go ahead and freaking find the right chest. There we go. That's where it was. Righto. Let's get that out, and we'll put those pumpkin seeds there, and yeah, we just got a bunch of organizing that needs doing. So this shouldn't be too hard, just a little tedious. We'll tuck that in there. Our glass goes back in there. Okay, that'll keep all that cleared up. Let's see here. Glass, we need to tuck that away as well. Alright, I'm also trying to peek through these bundles to see if there's anything easy I can tuck away, but no, not really. Dirt, that can go in there. Some wood, that goes with me. Gravel should be right here. And some of the deep slate bits should be very nearby. Indeed they are. And we'll take these with us here too. Okay. And we'll do some cobblestone. And we'll do our stairs. Buttons. That's good enough for right now. So let's go ahead and clear this out over here this time. See, we got our logs. And wood. There we go. Let's do some additional checks on our boxes here. It looks like we're all good. Yep, everything is as ordered as it needs to be, which is great. And all we really need to do is clean out the bundles that we have. These are chock full of shit too, and they need to be cleaned out as well. There we go. Interesting. Okay, there we go. Redstone bits, we got some iron doors. And then just basic stones and ores to tuck away. We'll do iron ore, copper ore, coal ore, and then the stony bits we just gotta go tuck away, and then we will have officially cleaned up everything. So that's good. We'll probably need to make another trip or two back up and down to. Well, actually, we'll prep for it early. We're grabbing some potion ingredients for some more infestation potions and our slime potions that we need to get a hold of. It shouldn't be too hard to get a hold of, it's just something we gotta do. Ah, fuck it, we'll just throw them out. I don't care. It's 3 stairs, like, who gives a shit? So, we'll get those tossed out. And let's see, from here, we really just need to get a hold of some slime. We got those. We should have all the other potion ingredients that we need down below. And it's just brewing it up, really. So let's go ahead and get some slime. We'll do 5 of them. I think that'll be okay. Zombie villager dies. Oh, that's cool. Guess we had a rarer one in there. Alright, let's check and see how we've been doing over the past hour. It's pretty solid. Still been getting stuff as time has gone on, so that's always good to see. We'll go ahead and take a quick flight down into our potion brewing area. Alright. Already got bottles, so we actually can take this back up with us. 10 there, and then there. So we're gonna restock. We're gonna restock on infestation. And then we're gonna stock up on oozing. And while we're here, we'll go ahead and refill our water supply too, because we can't forget about that, right? There we go. Gotta get that done. There we go. Alright, fully stocked up there, nice and neat. And we'll go ahead and fill these with water. Alright, and we'll go ahead and start cooking up some nether wart in each of these. And we'll load them into here and then load them down below. We're all primed and good to go. We'll go ahead and make sure those are open too and ready for use. And we'll do our final spot checks. That should be locked, which is good. This will have the button in place. And the iron golem down below should be in place too. And then we're going to give this a real try. Basically just going to be waiting around for all of the allay to start taking damage here. So why don't we go ahead and get the ball rolling there. We'll wait for these guys to take damage. And then once they start producing silverfish from the potions, then we're basically just going to wait 3 minutes for them to run out of effect, and then we're pretty much good. So, alright. And we'll go ahead and do that. We got 135 personally, so potions are all fully brewed and oozed. They'll start accumulating down here. Oozing in there, and in there, and in there. It's going to get a little loud and or laggy for a little while here. And they will die over time, but that's nothing for us to worry about. We'll leave that open. And otherwise, everything is as sealed off as it needs to be, so we should be fine. Shouldn't have any breaches. And you can just see the sheer fucking amount that they're going to be producing here. Got 37 on ours left, so it's been about a minute. It's currently 4:55 p.m., so at 4:57, or more closer to 4:58, we should be fully done. So, we're just chilling here for 2 minutes, waiting for these silverfish to produce all their, or these allays to produce all their silverfish, then we will take care of that. That shouldn't be too bad. Also take note of our level. I'm currently at level 47, nearly 48 here, so bear that in mind when we go ahead and kill all those slimes. Alright, looks like we are still producing here. You can see we got a couple of silverfish here just kind of hanging out. Just a handful. I think one of them... Oh no. Oh no, I saw that. I think one of them infested a cobblestone up there. Oh no. Uh-oh. We're gonna ignore that for right now. It's only a handful, but it is a handful we will have to go check and repurpose later. Okay. We should be wrapping up their production here. Yep. We have a very minor breach right there. And there. We have 2 breaches. So we will need to take care of that. Okay. These guys should effectively be done. We'll end their suffering. And this is where the test starts. So, splash them with oozing. They are now oozed. Release the hatch. And we start to go down. Oh my god. Oh fuck. We made a mistake. Okay. It's gonna be a little laggy here. We're gonna do something I normally don't do, but we're gonna crank our render distance down to 12. That should help us out here. Barely. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, man. And basically, my game plan here is just swing. Like, as soon as your attack cooldown is done, swing. So, there's nothing else we're going to be doing here other than just swinging with Sweeping Edge. Alright, that should bring us back up here a little bit now that we're calling them out. Okay. We're getting there. Now that the sound's starting to be back, be definitely cold enough. Okay, that should cover it. Okay, inventory is immediately full. And there, and there. Alright, there we go. We're just gonna keep doing some shuffling in and out. There we go. Alright. And, you know, we're just gonna do some maintenance on our hoppers here. Okay. So, we got a double chest and a third of slime balls from one slime block. Not to mention all the XP we're currently sitting through right now. We're already full up on all of our other tools, so we don't even have anything to repair. It's just XP to have XP. So, yeah. Pretty good. I'd say this is pretty solid. Should be running out of XP orbs to grab here soon. Any minute now. There we go. So we're at the tail end of 47, fixed up all of our tools, and now we're halfway through 51 off of that. And we are actually kind of inefficient with our XP usage here because we weren't very low level-wise. So as we should have been. Now we go ahead and we do our reseals to do our spot checks. We'll go ahead and seal that off. And that was all of our spot checks, so we should be fully done and reset. So, let's see how many slime blocks that makes. Because the balls are whatever, right? But you can condense them down into blocks, and that's kind of what we want. So, we'll go ahead and toss that there. And we'll go ahead and start doing all of this. There we go. That's already 2 stacks of blocks. There we go. And last but not least, there we go. Okay, so 1 slime block, singular, made us 3 potions. We've used 1 single potion to get 8.5 stacks of slime blocks. So 3 potions, aka 1 slime block, would make us a shulker box, give or take a few, of slime blocks. So that's a little busted. Not to mention the XP and things of that nature too, but that's pretty fucking crazy, frankly. Did not think that one was going to be doable. and it just works. So yeah, we have the slime blocks ready for next time when we get around to actually building the bamboo farm. Let's go check on our golem buddy too. I think he's okay, but I would like to check on him just to be safe. Notably too, there's no additional slime here, so it looks like everything was comfortably lured from even the farthest corner all the way out to our golem, which is great. And exactly what we're looking for. Now, we do have a breach up at the top that we need to go take care of first and foremost. So we're not completely done today yet, but we are very close to it. But we have a minor breach we need to take care of where those two torches are. So we're going to take some time to line this whole thing with something else. I don't know what. Probably just deep slate. We'll just do deep slate again. That'll be nice and simple. And, we'll take the sugarcane with us while we're out and about down here. And we'll pop on up to our base and go get some deep slate. And that should basically cover it for now. Bamboo farm wise, I thought about doing a flying machine based bamboo farm, but at the same time, I don't want it to cause a bunch of lag with the flying, so I'm gonna do it in like more traditionally modular piston based ones where basically on a timer or when one of the sugarcane grows to a certain height, it'll go ahead and do a bunch of shit from there. Just so that way I don't have to waste as many resources on like flying machines and having the docking stations and shit like that. And then that also ensures that I could keep them in the circular form factor that I'm looking to do, which I think is still really important as well. So yeah, otherwise, let's go ahead and see our deep slate tiles. Go ahead and get a hold of those. You might have heard it, might have been a little subtle there, but there was a skeleton that fell and didn't die. You can tell because it didn't say skeleton dies and you didn't explicitly hear the death noise, so let's go take a look out and go see if we can see him. Ah, there he is. He's dead now. This is the one that we couldn't fix, or not that we couldn't fix, but like our iron golem had died in here and I didn't bother to replace him, so he's just kind of hanging out here. We will eventually need to clean that out, but that's alright. Best not to worry about it for the moment. And we're going to go ahead and pop on down and install our additional proofing here. And that should cover us realistically. So, let's get our proofing in our offhand. That can't be right. Do they despawn somehow? Or have they worked their way somewhere else that I'm not aware of? That's very odd. Well, either way, it hardly matters to me, I suppose. It's taken care of, so that's what I was really looking for, but fine. And we can leave it like that, that's fine. I still like having the actual partitioning with the cobblestone. But otherwise, yeah, we're done for right now. Took about 2 hours to do that conversion, but that was super duper worth it. So now we have our normal, just standard XP farm, but then we also have the slime XP adjustment, which, frankly, why wouldn't you want to use like the slime XP adjustment, For just 3 minutes of waiting, you may get less XP overall, I think, because of the death of the silverfish that's there. But because of the volume of slimes that end up appearing, I think it evens out. Not to mention the actual, slime blocks that you get by doing this. So, again, really well done. This was a really cool adjustment to make, and this is just a further expansion of one of my prior designs that I ended up working on. So, I'm glad we were able to make something that actually works, and it works well. And it looks good, too, I know a lot of this is bare stone, but it still looks good. You still got your glass viewing platforms. You could literally see them like shower out here, which is really cool. and directly below down there too, which is just neat. And it is a very cool little farm to build. So with this, we will never have to worry about slime ever again. If we run out of slime, we can always go kickstart it again at like a swamp or something and just go get enough for a slime block. But like, we have 15 fucking oozing potions. Like, we're not gonna run out for ages. I mean, 15 oozing potions is 5 shulker box of slime blocks, give or take a handful of stacks. So that's more than I could realistically use or even conceive of realistically. That's just so much. So pretty good. We'll tuck that away in there. And we'll tuck away the last bits of our cobblestone. You can go there. And let's see here. What else? What else? What else? What else? Ah, yes, there's slime blocks. We're gonna have our slime blocks in their own dedicated chest, much like we have our iron in its own dedicated chest. Like so. And our glass, we can put that away too, since we're here. Everything else is put away. I'm happy with that. We'll go ahead and put our glass away, and that should basically cover it. So I'd mentioned it last stream, but my plan for the sugarcane farm, and let's check on our iron too while we're at it up here, just for curiosity's sake. So we got another stack of iron blocks while we were working on that, so that's all well and good. We'll go ahead and get this cleaned out too while we're here. And, you know, we'll clean out the bone blocks finally, since it's been quite a while since we've actually touched those. And we'll go ahead and sort all this away. But I had mentioned last time connecting up the circular bits with like half slabs to make like a rounded off square instead of the circles, but I don't know how I feel about that yet. I feel like with that one, I almost prefer like the extra circular bits just because I think they look cooler versus everything being square. Plus, it would be kind of weird to have, like, this circular base and then all of a sudden there's just a fucking square, you know? Now, granted, I could make it into a square and then turn it into a bigger circle, but then I feel like we're going too big on, like, a circle at that point, and that makes me feel weird, so I'm like, I don't know, so... But we'll, kind of play test around with it. Um, that mainly was designed, or mainly the idea with that was so that way I could, what's the word? We kind of flew up there a little bit. But the idea with that, with having like the connecting bits to make a big square, so that way I could have a flying machine go across on each way and then had the bamboo parts like that. But at the same time, I kind of just want like those modular ones where it's like a piston and an observer and some redstone dust to just get sprout upward in like larger columns. And then there'll be like sugarcane mixed in with that as well. But I could have like large horizontal like rows and then the tall columns that'll produce a ton of bamboo, and then it'll have only a couple of pistons firing every so often instead of like one big ass flying machine doing it. So that should cut down on lag overall, just because we won't be breaking all of the bamboo simultaneously, more or less. It'll be like in more controllable spurts. So at least that's the idea. So with something like that, we will figure out how we want to do that and how to effectively make the most out of all that space. And then we basically are going to have it consolidate at one spot. I think, or two spots rather. I think we'll have a consolidation spot there that'll handle the auto crafting of the bamboo into bamboo blocks. And then we'll do the same thing on that side, so that it still leaves the middle bit to just be open. And then that really should cover it pretty well, I would feel. I don't really feel like I would have to do anything too crazy. It's just a layer of hoppers. On top of the hoppers sits mud, so that way when the pistons go off, the bamboo falls down, it'll fall in the mud. And then mud, we can pick it directly up through with the hoppers, that way we don't use hopper mine carts, and then it'll funnel all of the drops into a central line, which will funnel it down there to the central storage, and then that's where we keep all of our bamboo. And then that's the plan. And then same deal with the sugar cane. We'll have to have a filter for, and we won't be able to use iron golems for it, or iron golems, copper golems for it, because I think the volume will be too great. We'll have to use like actual like redstone filters, or have like a dedicated bit. Like this one would just be for like bamboo, and that one would be for sugarcane, and then vice versa on the other side. But I also would rather have like mixed footprint stuff because I think that ends up working a little bit better in my favor. So, especially with how and where I can hide the water in certain bits to still make it so the sugarcane can actually be planted on and whatnot. So we'll see what we decide on that. We'll come up with a design and then we'll figure out how to filter everything out properly around that. Again, even if it just goes into one spot and then we filter it from that one spot and then like craft it down, I think that'll still be okay. So we'll get it all figured out in the end. Not too worried about it. And then once we have that done, we'll have an infinite way to get bamboo wood to make a bunch of chests. And then we really just need to build out a shulker shell farm out over here past that mountain range a little bit. So I was thinking too heavily on doing one-dimensional farms, but because it's an out of the way enough, I could probably get away with a two-dimensional farm over past that mountain range, or even down there in that cherry blossom or whatever. So we'll look into doing that. But either way, we'll probably do a two-dimensional shulker farm this time because I've never built one before, and we've got the proper spacing now with our portals that I don't think it'll cause any issues. So with that being said, it's one step at a time. Let's design the bamboo and sugarcane farm bit next time and actually build it. That is going to do it for me here today. It's day 426, and we got a good bit of stuff done. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see y'all again next time. Bye-bye.